experience. Hours after Gleason returned home, a limousine arrived unannounced.
Who's in the car? It's President Richard Nixon. And by the way, there's no Secret Service. He tells Gleason to climb in. This is your dream. They drive to an Air Force base in Florida. And what does Nixon show Gleason? He shows him alien artifacts, pieces of a UFO, and a dead alien in cold storage.
When he got home, he told his wife all about it, what he had seen, and how Nixon had taken him there, and he told other people.
I actually got the interview with Beverly Gleason. We actually interviewed her. She stayed to the story. Jackie was very shaken up when he came home after this thing, and he was very angry when she made public the fact that he had seen these bodies.
This is extremely important because it indicates that almost certainly Nixon was fully briefed on the ET issue. And if the president wants to go see an ET body, by God, he's going to get to see one. And if he's got Jackie Gleason with him, fine.
When his ex-wife's story was published in 1983, 67-year-old Gleason remained silent about it. So too did Nixon. Is it possible that the incredible story is true? UFO historians suggest that Nixon's actions led to a clampdown on the information shared with future presidents and what they were allowed to say publicly. Leary, Georgia, October 1969. Attendees of a local Lions Club meeting spot a mysterious object hovering in the night sky. Among the witnesses is future President of the United States, Jimmy Carter.
At the time, Jimmy Carter was standing outside with a group of men, and they saw a great orb in the sky, something very unusual that changed color from orange to a bluish color and back of him and grew in size.
Nearly 4 years later, Carter remained so intrigued by what he witnessed that he filed an official report with the National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomena, or NICAP.
Jimmy Carter, when he was running for president, he had made the promise, if I become president, I will release all the files.
What happened? He was elected president, and then he walked it back. And he said, well, maybe there are some UFO sightings that have national security implications, and perhaps not everything can be released. The question is, what role have presidents played in maintaining this truth embargo, authorizing it, and so forth? Well, that's somewhat dependent upon whether they were briefed or not. Truman was briefed on everything that happened at Roswell and anything else ET related. Eisenhower absolutely would have been briefed in full. Kennedy, maybe not. Nixon, we think, was briefed. Carter, stonewalled, and so forth.
One of the stories that's been floated around the UFO community is that the Democrats don't get a proper briefing because they don't have the connection to the military in the way the Republicans know more. So the story's always been that Jimmy Carter didn't get told anything, Bill Clinton didn't get told anything, but Ford, Reagan, and Bush all knew what was going on.
Is it possible that there is a party bias when it comes to what an incoming president is told about the UFO phenomenon? Or could Jimmy Carter have been denied access to government UFO files because he had promised to release them to the public during his campaign? Perhaps further clues can be found by examining what happened to a presidential candidate after he admitted to his own UFO sighting.
Did you see a UFO?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, October 31st, 2007. During the Democratic primary debate at Drexel University, moderator Tim Russert turns and addresses presidential candidate Dennis Kucinich.
Congressman Kucinich, a serious question. Shirley MacLaine writes in her new book that you cited a UFO over her home in Washington State. that you found the encounter extremely moving, that it was a triangular craft. Now, did you see a UFO?
I did, and the rest of the account, well, I didn't, it was unidentified flying object, okay? It's like, it's unidentified. I saw something now. And also, you have to keep in mind that Jimmy Carter saw a UFO, and also that more people in this country have seen UFOs, and I think approve of George Bush's presidency.
The debate moment made national headlines. Many political commentators speculated that this admission damaged his campaign.
I think for most people it's been the notion that you are even discussing UFOs tends to be viewed as a career ender. You know, people think you're a little bit wacky if you're taking the phenomena seriously.
But just what did Dennis Kucinich experience? Seattle, Washington, February 2020. Former British Ministry of Defense UFO investigator Nick Pope has arranged to meet with Dennis Kucinich at the location of his 1982 UFO encounter, the former home of Academy Award-winning actress Shirley MacLaine. The home, which has since been sold, overlooks Mount Rainier, the site of the infamous Kenneth Arnold flying saucer incident that ignited the UFO craze in 1947.
Hey there! Welcome!
Hi.
The current owner agreed to allow Nick and Dennis to take a look around.
Come on in.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, really?
What a fabulous view.
Oh, look, there's nothing like this.
This is, of course, the location where you had your UFO sighting. Can you tell me about it?
Well, Nick, I was seated at a dinner table with myself and two friends, and I noticed a light in the distance came from the hill directly over the house. Come on, let me show you. Okay. So I was standing out here, the scope was here. I brought it up here so that I could get a look at the light. And when I looked at it, I saw it wasn't just one light, it was a series of lights, like a grid, one stacked on another. I went back and I looked. And then I saw something that was extraordinary. I saw the lights were separating and definitely moving in this direction. So at that point, I came right to the edge here, and I looked out into the hills to watch what proved to be three crafts moving in this direction.
Just to be clear, first seen over there to directly over the house.
Right in the hills, in the distance, and then in a straight line. That straight line would just go right overhead here, and then above the house, and then quickly accelerating out of sight. Just like that, gone.
And that was the last you saw it?
Oh, yeah.
The next day, Kucinich described the experience to Shirley MacLaine. He would say nothing more about it for 26 years. And then, when running for the Democratic nomination in 2008, his private UFO sighting would become a public event, affecting presidential politics in a most unexpected way.
When the question was asked, I think there was mention of, feeling almost an emotional connection, not that it spoke to you, I mean, not in a literal sense, but feelings.
I don't know that I ever communicated that to anyone, but I will tell you this, that it was extraordinary, it was exciting. How could it not be? I mean, anybody who would see anything like that would have to be excited, and was I? Yeah.
After the debate, commentators like Chris Matthews questioned whether Kucinich's admission had in effect disqualified him from the presidential race. But he was surprised by the reaction of another candidate, New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson.
Is that disqualifying for a presidential candidate to say you've seen UFOs?
I've never seen one. Roswell, New Mexico is the hotbed of UFOs, and I promote Roswell as a tourism issue. The federal government has not come clean on all that issue, and it should, but no, I've never seen one.
Wait a minute! Stop the music! Stop the music, Governor. Did you say the United States government is covering up a history of a UFO sighting in your state? You said the government
the
hasn't
answer
cleaned
there
this up
is-
yet. What are they hiding that you say about a
No,
UFO?
they haven't. Well, they don't produce documents, Chris. They should just get it all out. And there's a known history about this.
What is the conspiracy? What is your belief
If
that
they
they're
released
hiding?
all documents, look, I don't believe they're UFOs, but the government has not handled this well over the years. That's a historical fact.
3 months after Kucinich's admission, he withdrew from the Democratic race. But he remains committed to a policy of disclosure.
Information ought to be open for people to see so we know